Trust that we are doing good. Trust that we are doing well. Trust that our week also went fine. I trust that we are all doing fine. So we are back to our Framer learning, and we are going to continue from where we stopped last week. So we started looking at Framer and the interface and the concept of website. That's what we actually did last week. So we looked at introduction to website design. We looked at how the internet works, what HTML is, what CSS is. We tried to look at it in combination with like the human body, how that there is like a foundation sort of, and then there's like effects, or there's we like effect or styling that you can add to, like painting a building, adding let's say a roof, or adding any aesthetics basically. That's what CSS is. We looked at the Flexbox model, how that's one of the ways to look at the web in a way, or a web page is how that it's like a box inside of another box and another box. We also looked at Figma and Framer, and I mentioned that Figma is a tool for design, just the way you have Photoshop, Illustrator, but Figma is a tool for product or digital design, like digital product design, basically. And then we have Framer. Framer is more or less a development tool. Although Framer has capabilities for you to actually design inside it, like there's a blank space where you can design inside it. But I said that the better workflow is that we have our designs ready in Figma, and then we move to Framer to develop. I also mentioned that Webflow was also another alternative. It's also another no-code tool. But the issue with Webflow is just that Webflow is a little bit more complex than Framer, and it has a steep learning curve. Like there's a lot to it. So I felt like it was better for us to focus on what was like easier or simpler to learn, and so that we can really like do much with little, basically. We looked at Framer interface, and we looked at the layer panel, the home panel. We looked at positioning, we looked at sizing, and yeah, we looked at the interface basically in general. And we had like our assignment, which was to do like our Flexbox basically. And today we'll be continuing from like that. But basically, what we're going to be looking at today is a little different. So in today's or this week lesson, we are going to be looking at introduction to landing pages. We are going to look at sections of a landing page, or sections of landing pages. We'll look at we'll continue to our Framer like interface, like just the way we are doing, and we'll design a particular section like in Framer, like a particular section of a landing page in Framer, and then we'll just do an assignment. So before like I go further, I just want to ask, has anybody heard about the phrase like landing page? Have you heard about landing page? Maybe I've heard. Has anybody heard what, or does anybody know what a landing page is? Before I continue, have you heard about the concept of a landing page? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay, what do you understand, or what do you
Okay. I have two ideas about it. First, you could say a landing page is the first page where people see whenever they go to your website. So like kind of like a home page. But some brands also create like dedicated pages. So for example, if you search for their products online, you might see a dedicated page that is basically created for them to bring you in as a customer, sort of like I don't know, it's like sort of like a CTA page or something like that. And they use it to basically tell you what they do. But I at the end of the day, I just think it's like an home page for a website. That's my idea about it.
Yeah, okay, you're actually very correct to a very large extent. Although a landing page is not exactly a website, it could be like a, what's the word? It could be like a unit of a website, but it's not a website. A website is made up of different pages. Most times, if you want to look at landing page, it's mostly marketing oriented. So I don't know if anybody have heard about like elevator pitch, something like that. If you have heard of what an elevator pitch is just you trying to sell yourself. So a landing page is like a page that is majorly for like selling yourself, selling a product, selling a service. And um it's also like marketing oriented, as I mentioned, like assuming you have a business and you want me to know, okay, or you want people to know, or the world to know what your business does, how can people benefit, how can they know what your business is doing, how can they sign up? Like if you want to, it's like a magnet sort of. So when people go to a landing page, basically you want to convince them, or you want to, yeah, not confuse, you want to convince them to actually take a decision to use your service or buy a product, or you get give them a good brand perception, and most ultimately to convert, really. Like you want them to patronize you. That's why you have a landing page. And so a landing page is not just the page that you land on when you visit a website. No, it's like the entire page. You almost confuse landing page for hero section. An hero section is just a section in a website or a page or a landing page, basically on a web page. Hero section is like what you first see when you open the website. So, like this website that is here, I just opened it now. You can see that it's just what's the word? This is like an hero section. Like the first part that you see, like from here to here. Like for instance, the assignments that we did. If you notice, most of the things that we did was hero sections. Like everything that is here, this is just hero section. Like this first few pages an hero section. Here it is an hero section. This is the hero section of this Kuda Bank. For this iPhone, this is the hero section. And then for child deck too. This is like their hero section. So I want us to just we are going to the next thing on our tutorial or outline is sections of a landing page. As I said, the landing page mainly is mainly marketing oriented, and then is really like to sell. And the reason why we're looking at landing page in that sense, and not like maybe like website, is because one of the goals of this, as I said, this particular lesson or learning curve is for us to sell ourselves using a portfolio website. So a portfolio website is similar to a landing page, sort of, where you want people to go there, know about you, know what you do, and basically you want them to patronize you. So there are different sections of a landing page, and for that, there's a particular Figma resource that I looked at. It's called Untitled UI, and it's free. Basically, if you go to Figma, like Figma community, and search for Untitled UI, you will see this particular resource. Like it's a free Figma kit, and they help like with essentials that you need to begin like projects basically. So that is Untitled UI. So for landing page, there are different sections, like they're different. So I'll just open a typical landing page and then just try to extract it. So this is a typical landing page. This one here. Let me just scroll. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Please some feedback. Oh, can you see my screen? I'm not hearing anybody. Can we still hear
Yes,
me?
yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, okay. Please, please, you can give me feedback so I can, because I'm not seeing anybody. Like, all right. So as I said, I'm trying to x-ray like a landing page, and I've explained the reason why it is landing page that we're focusing on, and not just like random website, because the end goal of this particular learning curve is that to be able to create like a landing page or a portfolio website, which is like just one page that you can use to sell yourself, and at the end of the day, you want people to actually patronize you. So this is a landing page, and we'll just look at the anatomy of a landing page. So the first thing when you like check a landing page is navigation. So we can look at this first place here as a navigation. And as I said, a landing page is like, it's not a website. A website has like different pages in it. And a landing page too can also have different pages actually. But a landing page is more marketing oriented. Like you want to sell something, not just informing people, like you want to actually sell something and help them convert. Mostly like businesses, SaaS, software, like you are selling something, you have a business, you have a service that you render, and you want people to actually patronize you. Basically, you most likely need like a landing page or you mean the website. But okay, as I said, the first section is like this particular section, which is navigation. I'm sure that when we're doing the assignment, we came across navigation in the Flexbox assignment. And then the next section is the hero section. As I mentioned earlier, there's something called an elevator pitch. So I want to assume that you have a website or you have a landing page, and that you only have only one shot or one section to sell yourself and summarize what you do. That will be your hero section. So the hero section is actually where you see within your viewport. What is viewport? Viewport is just distance between here and here. Like this first screen. Like when you open when you open a website, the first page that your web page can actually see, like for instance, this particular website, from here to here is called viewport. Like, and that's why one of the ways to look at sizing or position, sizing in Framer is called viewport, VH. VH means, or LH, like this from here to here or from here to here. It's just the distance between, for instance, if it was a mobile phone, the viewport too is like the place that you can see between the size of your phone, basically like your vertical size. That's your viewport. So this place that is called like our viewport, like everything that we can see here is like the hero section. That's like the first section, this hero section. So assuming that you have like a laptop and your laptop is like, let's say 1440 by 1024, that's like default. So anything that you see within this particular place, because this is what your laptop can see at a point in time, when you first get to a particular website, is called your hero section. So this is the hero section here. And that is what a lot of us did for our assignment. It was the hero section. So this is the hero section. As I said, is a place where you can really just summarize what you do as a business, as a person, as an enterprise, as an organization, and just sell yourself basically. And then in every hero section, you would also want to have a call to action. So it's not just enough for you to say, oh, my name is, let's say my name is Aisha and I sell clothes or I sell wig. You want them to say, okay, now that you have told them about yourself, what do you want us to do after I've told us about yourself? You want them to take an action, either for them to sign up or go and check out or read about it in, like you get learn more, sign up, sign in, watch a demo video. Like you want them to do something. And that's why every role section should most likely have like call to action. So these are buttons and they are also called like CTAs, like call to action. In this case now, this is like a SaaS, like you get startup, basically like their software as a service. Is most likely B2B or B2C. B2B is just business to business or business to customer. Sorry for too many terms. It just means that you're selling to a particular business or selling to an individual. And it could be any of the case, but just assume that it's a software company, that they are selling a particular software to people. And they want you to either watch a demo of the software or sign up. So this is like the hero section. The next section is they call this section social proof. So really, when you have a website or a landing page, there's what they call like social proof section, or they also call it logo cloud, so like logo cloud, which is also like social proof. So basically, you want people to know that this your business is what's the word, is reliable and is trustworthy. And one of the ways to tell people that your business is trustworthy or reliable is to say, oh, don't just take my word for it. Other people have actually used my business and you can look at them. And God bless you or God helps you if they're actually popular, you get people that people can actually go and check out. So you just say, oh, for instance, if you say Google has used your software before, or let's say Facebook, and you put it here, there's no how somebody will not patronize you. Why? Because you have given us enough reason to say, oh, Facebook actually uses this guy's business. Why don't I patronize them? Or let's say Huda, or let's say GT Bank actually patronizes this particular software. You would also want to use it. Why? Because there is like a social proof. So this social proof, it can come in any kind of form. You can use logos to show it that, okay, look at this logo. This logo are companies that have actually used your product. Sometimes your people actually use videos actually. You can show a video, let's say like the CEO of GT Bank saying, I actually used this product and I enjoyed it. So this is actually like social proof. The next one is on this particular page. And basically, what I'm just trying to show you is not exactly like a standard. It's just a guide. What it means is that when you understand the normal, then you can break the rule. So it doesn't have to always be like this in all the cases, but you understand that these are essentials that should be there. Then you can now play around it how you want to tell your story. So it still boils down to you and now you want to tell. Some people may put it here, some people may put it elsewhere. Or some people may actually use different formats to tell this same kind of story. As I said, instead of putting like this particular, let's say, logo, you may want to put, let's say, you may want to put like video or something else. It doesn't have to be this. So this next section is called like features section. So some people call it features or they call it benefits. So for instance, as I said, after you have told us what you do, you may want to tell us what are the benefits of actually using this particular, let's say your service or your product. And that's why you have like all these like things that are here. It's called like a benefit section. Like, oh, okay, if you use particular software, you can get instant answers, you can manage your reports. Like you can see all these things that are here. These are just benefits of this particular, like you get software. So for companies or for organizations or for businesses, these are also important like sections to have in a particular landing page. So you want to show them, oh, what are the benefits of actually using, what are the features that you find when you actually use our software, the benefits. And these are the things that that these guys use, and you can use it in any particular format, basically. So that's like the features or like the benefits section. The next section is called testimonial. So as I said, testimonial is also a way of showing social proof. As I said, social proof can come in any way, like in any form. And this is just a different form. So as I said, in this case here, one of the ways that they use their social proof or testimonial, sorry, this is social proof, not testimonial. Social proof, one of the ways they used it was that they showed us companies that have used their softwares. But in this case, one of the ways to use their social proof is to also show testimonials. What is testimonials? Testimonials is actually the fastest way to actually, or the best way to sell your business. Testimonial is you saying that somebody, or for instance, there are times when you use a particular product or a particular software, and you by yourself, you actually went to go and tell your friend about that particular software. It's also called word of mouth. So for instance, let's say you enjoy using GT Bank. Let's assume you enjoy using GT Bank, or let's say Zenith Bank. And I hope you get the joke. Let's say you enjoy using Zenith Bank, for instance. You can go and tell your friend and say, oh, go and install Zenith Bank because I actually use it for my business and it helps me. That is word of mouth. And then assuming Zenith Bank has like a landing page, Zenith Bank can now go and say, oh, this particular customer has actually used our service and they enjoy it. That way, if anybody comes on this website and they see that, oh, assuming this particular customer, like with this person's name and whatever it is that they do, their business and whatever it is, and their testimonial, like, oh, this is what you can see. We have been using Untitled to kickstart every new project, and I cannot imagine working without it. So as you mean now say, I have enjoyed using Zenith Bank and I cannot do my business without it. What that means is that if I come as a business owner to Zenith Bank and I see this particular testimonial, it is more or less like a social proof. Say, oh, people are actually using it, like real people that is solving real problems. So why don't I patronize it? So this is a testimonial section. Okay, this is another section. It's also a feature section. So I mentioned that you can actually say features or benefits. So this is just another way to show like the feature section. So as I said, what I'm showing you now is not a rule. It's just a foundation. Like it's just a foundation that you can build upon. As I said, you can build upon it in any form or any way. You may look at another landing page and all this may not really be there, like in the way these guys laid out their own, but you mostly get like the same idea. And so when we are done with this, we'll probably just try to look at a normal landing page and we can see all sections that we can see there basically. So we can see here, this is also another feature section. Once again, they are trying to tell you that even though we have told you that this is what we can do, we are still re-emphasizing that this is actually what we can do. And it's also good, it's also a marketing strategy actually, that whenever you are maybe selling something or doing a particular business, it's good for you to reinforce your brand image, your brand perception, your brand offerings, like reinforces. And that's why no matter how big, for instance, let's say MTN is, MTN will still be running advertisements. And you wonder why is MTN or all these big companies, why are they doing adverts? Because they don't need to do advert because you're actually using their product or you have maybe an MTN line. But the reason why they are doing the advert or they're spending, you get big money on marketing, on sales, on campaign, is because they actually want to reinforce and keep themselves at the bottom of your mind. And that's why there are times when in a particular industry, you think of, let's say, who is the best in this particular industry? Or in fact, if I ask you that, what is the best shoe that you have heard of or the best shoe brand? A particular brand will stick. If I say, what is the best sportswear brand, for instance, maybe you think about Nike or Puma, or you get the reasons why those brands can come, although there's part of branding in it. I'm just saying that there's also like reinforcing that particular idea over time via advertisement, via different, you get channels basically, so that they can always be on the top of your mind. So that when you now think about we're going to, let's say, buy a sportswear or buy something, you most likely remember what you have seen somewhere or somebody has told you about. So that's the concept of having like this same section again, so that people can actually remember, basically. And that section of a landing page is FAQ. So once again, when people come to your, let's say your landing page, or let's say landing page is basically, as I said, because it's a business trying to sell something, there's no how you not have question. Like it's not possible. You always have a question. So for instance, you go to, let's say, Kuda Bank website, or let's say any website generally. Every website will most likely have this FAQ, or yeah, they mostly call it FAQ, or they may even call it support. Basically, what they're trying to say is that we know that you have seen what we have done. We have told you what we do. We have told you how we do it. We have told you different aspects of the business. Now I know we have questions, so let us help you to answer your question. And so that's why we have this FAQ, like you get section. So this section is just to answer the questions that people normally have about a business, or let's say whatever. They may have questions. So that's why you have like your FAQ question. And that's why you can see that they added FAQ like section. They also added another section, which is also like FAQs, like a contact us section. So in case you still have more questions, they now say you cannot find answers, get in touch. This is still like contact us, like, okay, send us an email, for instance. Assuming all the questions that you're looking for, the answers are not here. They now say, okay, you can still contact us. And that's why we still have this FAQ, like, sorry, this contact us like section. Basically, it's also a section of a landing page, basically. And then and that okay, our time is already fast spent. I think that we'll round up with this and then see how far we can go. So basically, and that section here, you can see really they are just still trying to show you benefits. Although, and that way you can also call this section, you can also call it a metric section because we can see numbers here. So it's actually still benefits slash metrics. So you can call it metrics. You can also say benefit because they're telling the benefits of the business, but now they're showing you numbers. And if you are, for instance, if you are a mathematical or let's say mechanical or a logical person, most times you want to see, oh, what metrics have you guys moved? Or for instance, depending on what you are selling, people like to see metrics. For instance, if you say 100 million people are using a particular, let's say, application, and you put it there, let's say 100 million people have patronized us, we have 600% return on investment, 10K download, 200 5-star review. This is just to put it in your mind that if actually 100 million people can actually use this particular product, why can't I be part of you get 100 million people? As I said, you'll notice that most of the things that we are seeing here is marketing focused. That's why it's a landing page. Like they want to sell something to you by all means. And that's why they're selling it in different ways. This is one way to sell. Like once you see these numbers, especially if you are, let's say you want and let's say an online business, there's no how, or you, let's say you are a social media manager, you understand the meaning of numbers. Like numbers actually mean something. Like assuming you're managing, like let's say an Instagram page, you will know the meaning of 10,000 or 4,000 or 600% ROI or 5-star review. Like it will make sense to you. And that's why they are trying to sell the same thing, but in different ways. And then this section is called CTA. Basically, it's a call to action. So now that I've told you everything about this business, why don't you start your free trial? So you can see the logical way they arrange all the sections and see what they're ending with. They're ending with the same thing. Buy, patronize. Like that's what they're trying to say all through this entire place. They're trying to say that you must patronize us or you should patronize us. And that's what they're trying to say. So you can see, start your free trial. Join over XYZ, learn more, get started. And then this is just a CTA. So they're trying to say that now that I've told you about all our business, all what you do, how we do it, oh yeah, patronize us, buy what you are selling. And that's why they have this final section for a CTA. And then the last but not the least is the footer. So the footer is basically where they put all other necessary information. Sometimes they put, it may be very simple, be very complex. Most times, if it's a landing page, the footer is actually very simple. It's not as complex as this one that we can see here. This one is most likely for a website. So you can see they are showing company about us, career, press, news, media, kit, contact, blog, newsletter. All these things do not really apply to landing pages. They may, but they mostly do not. They may, but they mostly, most times, if you check landing pages, it's always very, very simple, like very, like extremely simple. Why? Because you don't also want to allow users to have like visual load or mental load. Like your goal for them coming here is for them to patronize you. Nothing really concerns them with, I'm not saying about us is not important, like all this other part, blog, newsletter, events, help center, tutorial. It really doesn't matter for a landing page. Like it really doesn't matter. But as I said, all what we have just shown is just a guide. As I said, all the information that is here can be shown in different ways. This is just a guide. I just explained different sections just to understand how it works, like generally for landing pages, and then so that in case you are building one, you know the elements to actually infuse. For instance, there are also elements that are supposed to be in a landing page in that sense that are not here. There's one I remember that I cannot really see here. Some other landing pages usually have how it works. How it works is just, oh, how do we do what we do? And they can now say step 1, sign up, step 2, create an account, step 3, log in, log out. Like there's supposed to be like an how it works, like you get part of it, but it's not here. And so that's why I'm saying that this is not really like a standard. It's more or less a foundation. It's more or less a foundation. It's not a standard. I'm trying to see. Let me just open like a landing page. Okay, so you can see, let's just look at this one. So for instance, same thing here, hero section. You can see logo section, like I mentioned, or like some social proof, basically, logo section. We can see benefits or like features, basically. Still the same thing. They are showing benefits, just different ways, different layouts. It's the same information actually showing. You can see again, benefits again, get more value, still trying to sell. See again, this is like a metric section. You can see 40 plus integration, 600%, like numbers. They call it metric section. You can see again under CTA, start your free trial, learn more, get started. Basically, they want to convert, they want you to buy, they want you to patronize, they want you to buy what they are selling. Basically, you can see again testimonial. Somebody is saying this has saved us thousands. Like somebody that has used it is actually doing their testimonial, like word of mouth. I've used it too, then you can use it. So this is actually like testimonial. This under call to action again. They are saying join 4,000 plus startups. Like as I said, everything that we're looking at here is actually marketing focused. Like it's not just a website that are trying to inform you about, oh, know about our business, just know our vision, know our mission. You can see that there's actually nothing like mission or vision here. It's not as if landing pages cannot have it, but mostly landing pages is actually like you want to focus on what actually matters. Your mission and your vision is important, but really you want people to actually still buy. So that's why you can see everything here is actually marketing oriented. So we can see everything that's happening here is mostly marketing oriented. I want us to, I don't know, okay, let me just ask. So far, do we understand like at least how a landing page, like to an extent? Let me just get some feedback. Do we really understand at least what I've explained so far? I don't know if it makes sense or if it's if it's not jargon. So I hope you understand what I'm saying so far. Please, does it make sense? Please, some feedback, please.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let me just open. I'm trying to look for a landing page. Well, someone give us an example? Just tell us any product that you have used so we can just check. Anyone, just mention any websites. Okay,
Go Lemon.
Go Lemon. Let me see. I hope they have Go Lemon websites. Let's see. This one is an e-commerce. So let's see if they have a landing page. Let me see. By the way, let me open. I think Child Deck has. Let's see. Child Deck also has a landing page. If I'm correct. While that is loading, why is Go Lemon taking time to load? Anyone that loads first, we'll just look at it and look at the things that I've mentioned. And see, let's also open Kuda and just see if they have a landing. Okay. Yeah. Once again, while Go Lemon, okay, Go Lemon is still loading. Anyone that loads first, our time is going very, very, very fast. But basically, you can see the idea. This is like their hero section. Once again, simple text telling you what to do. Download. Like they are selling something to you. You must do one thing, download or shall download. You can see this hero section. You can see again, they are trying to show you features, basically, like the features I mentioned. Oh, try the app. Have meals. They are trying to sell like benefits or features, like, oh, have meals delivered to you within minutes, XYZ. For a vendor, these are that like benefit for you. For a rider, become a champ. Like different benefits for different user group, basically. I'm trying to run fast. Again, they're trying to sell. They say, join our growing network. See what they are saying. Start selling. Deliver happiness behind the scenes. Like, still trying to convert, basically. Just conversion. You can say again, download the app. Again, conversion. Like, download or explore. Like, learn more. Like, just want you to just, at the end of the day, use us. Patronize us. Buy our business. Go and install our app. That's really like the major thing. You can see again, these are like still social proof. They are showing you different vendors accepted or like just showing things that can convert. Child Deck has you cover, like reinforcing that thing in your brain that oh, use us, we can actually deliver. Like still like social proof, showing out like testimonials, people that are using it. See your order, like assuming your order, it has come. See happy people, like just trying to sell business to you basically. You can see and then see restaurants around you. See stories too, like although this is like a full-blown website, but you can see elements of a landing page inside it. Like you can see again FAQ that we mentioned. You can see just different layout, but the same thing. See under final CTA section, place your order in seconds. Same idea, same concept, and it applies to any kind of website that you actually find. You can see the same thing that is playing out. Final CTA, and then look at their footer, like same thing here. You can see theirs is more complex because the more complex your product, obviously, the more things that will be on your website and stuff like that. But you can really see like the way the functionalities or the way the features or the way the sections are actually playing out in this particular landing page. Let's see Go Lemon. Once again, you can see the hero section. once again, they're trying to sell everything for you. Like we're enforcing the benefits. See again, more benefits again. Zero store, unbeatable price, like things that will convert, marketing oriented. Made it you and your own in mind. Again, see people, this is like testimonial, but this is a video testimonial of people that are actually using the software or the product. See once again, more features like see, shop with friend, request new product, like selling, just selling, conversion, marketing focus. See, Go Lemon is blessing after sliced bread. Again, selling themselves above their competitors, like comparing themselves. This is also a benefit. Once again, as we can see, they are trying to sell, they're trying to convert. Sliced bread, we can prove it. And they are showing us metrics, as I mentioned earlier. Save up to 30%. We claim 4 hours. Like, these are metrics. I mentioned that we had the metric section, like even in different places, but we can see it play out here. Basically, the next one you can see again, this is testimonials. How has this Go Lemon helped the life of other people? And you can see people actually saying it like, oh, this person has Go Lemon has helped me plan my newsletter, prevent XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You can see all the old stories. You can see metric again, 1,000. Like, this is things that can convert for any kind of business. Like, show them numbers. Say 500 million people are using this particular application. Why would I not want to use it? Like, why would I not want to sign up if I can see like 500 million people? Let's say this particular amount, or like I see someone that is doing what I'm doing. Like, see, shops for herself. See Anifa, she shops for her family. Like, I'm assuming I'm an housewife, for instance. Why would I not want to look at what this person has said? Oh, I can shop all the whatever, blah 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 blah. You want to like you get see more people, like you can see how like it makes sense. Look at this person, shop for my partner, assuming someone is in a relationship, like it converts basically. And then we can see again under call to action section. Again, introducing Go Lemon for business. Oh yeah, get early access. Basically, we want you to click that button, like sign up, be part of us, use our service, download our app, just use us, like just convert basically. And so we can see again under call to action. Again, common questions. As I mentioned that there's the FAQ section. Oh, when do you do deliveries? Blah, 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 blah. You can see common questions, like common questions that people would normally have about an e-commerce site that sells stuff. You can see everything here, like what delivery areas, XYZ. You can see everything here. And then under CTA section. Again, download Go Lemon. Like, as I said, a landing page is way different from a website. It's not as if it cannot be part of a website. Or it can, as I said, it can also be a unit of a website. Because, for instance, now you cannot have a landing page to sell yourself. And then when they click on why Go Lemon or whatever, then you can take them to a new page where you can now tell all the story about your mission, your vision, and whatever. But on your landing page, your most important goal is that you want to convert. Like you want someone to click that button, watch that video, install that app, patronize you, get started, time more, learn more. Like you just want them to convert. That's why you have a landing page. And so the last section is their CTA section, download, again, conversion. And then we can see their footer. Same thing again, you can see them again. There's even still added another place to put in your information. And this kind of information will also help them for marketing, basically. Put your full name and your email address. Again, they want to be giving you marketing. And if you're also into marketing, or for instance, you know about numbers, metrics, you know that if you can actually get people's email address and their name, and you get them in their thousands or their tens of thousands, you are made. Because if you can send, let's say you send one email to 10,000 people, out of that 10,000 people, let's even assume that 10% convert. Conversion just means that 10% out of the 10,000 starts using your app. 10% of 10,000 is like is 1,000. If you get 1,000 people to use your app, even if they, assuming you are selling a product, let's say you are selling a product of, let's say, 5,000 naira, and you get 1,000 people to use to be buying to, or let's say to subscribe, or to be using, let's say, monthly, or to patronizing you, that is like a whole lot. Like 1,000 times 5,000. Let me do the calculation and just see how much it is. That's like 5 million if I'm correct, but let me just confirm. 5,000 times 1,000. That's 5 million. Imagine getting 5 million every month for a particular business, 5 million profit. That's like a whole lot. That's like 60 million a year. That's a whole lot. That's crazy. Like, that's massive. So, yeah, that's like everything about landing page. So I hope that we
I don't
understand
have.
what we have said so far, and I hope that we really understand. So this is just landing page, and we have tried to explain. So we are here, sections of a landing page, and then we have looked at all the sections, and I hope that like it makes more sense. Please, you can mute ourselves. We are not saying anything, so it doesn't interfere basically. But if you want to say something, then you can just unmute and then talk. So basically, sections of a landing page, we have covered that. So the next one is Framer interface continued. So we'll go back to Framer. So the goal for this particular, you get learning. So I was not just talking just because I wanted to talk. I actually wanted us to design, but I wanted us to understand what we are designing before we actually design, basically. And so our goal for today is actually to design a particular section of a landing page. And that section that we're going to design will be the hero section. So by now, we already know what our hero section is. The hero section is what? Where you can really sell yourself and talk about your business. And I mentioned what a viewport is. I said that the viewport is what you would normally see as the first you get section of your, let's say, when you open a particular website, your screen size. Like for instance, this is the reason why I could take this screenshot or do everything, because this was the viewport of this particular person's screen. And I mentioned that the viewport is just the screen of your what's it called? It's just the screen of your software, of sorry, not your software, of your system or your laptop or your mobile device or your any device, your digital device. This is your viewport. Like everything that you can see like this is your viewport. And as you can see here, in every viewport, there are two sections that you see in a viewport. Who can help us if you are following? What are the two sections that you see in every website or landing page in your viewport? Anybody can help us. They are right on our screen here, but if you are following, just help us. I don't know if you understand the question. Do you understand the question?
Not really.
Okay, I said, so when you open any website, there's what is called viewport. Viewport is just the portion of the website that you can see at a point in time on your screen. So that, for instance, when we loaded this child deck, what we actually first saw was here. So this is our viewport. Everything that is here is your viewport. When you open Go Lemon, this everything that you can see here is your viewport. Like from here to here is your viewport that you can see as a point in time. When you open, for instance, CUDA, everything that you can see here from here to here is your viewport. And I said that there are two sections that you can see in every viewport. So I said, what are those two sections? Because I've looked at all the sections that you can find on the website or a landing page, at least a landing page. So I'm saying that what are the two sections that you can see in these viewports? Anybody who can help us?
Okay. The nav bar and the hero section.
Exactly. Thank you very much. The nav bar and the hero section. So we are going to be working on this as our assignment for this week. But before we work on that, that's what I want us to do. So really back to Framer. So I want us to design like just something you can see in a particular viewport. And I think that I want to use, although there are different things to use or different inspiration, but I want to use this particular one I was using from last week because it's a little bit simpler and we can achieve it within the time that we have. So again, this is what I want us to do. We are going to recreate this inside of Framer. So I'll just copy this picture. Well, obviously, we are going to change the text and some other things there. But this is what I want us, because this is just like what you can see within a viewport. If you look at this particular website, this is the website here actually. As you can see, this is our viewport. You can see the navigation and you can see this particular hero section. I am a designer, X, Y, blah, 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 blah. And then when you begin to scroll, then you can see all, but this is a portfolio website. This is our goal, like what we're supposed to build after this particular like learning like curve. But we are just starting with the hero section and navigation because that is what forms our viewport. As time progresses, we'll be looking at other sections. But for now and for today, we'll focus on here. So basically, also in every website that you have looked at or based on your assignment, you'll find that most websites are made up of different components. Let's say button, text, different things. And then if you further break down those components, you will find out that they are underlying foundational elements. And the foundational elements will be like things like text, let's say shapes, shapes, text, imagery, and let's say patterns, or let's say texture. Those are just visual elements that you find in every website. So these are like just text. These are like images or a GIF. It's still like animated like image, basically. And then a button is like a rectangle and something. So basically just the same thing. But for us to recreate this, let's just use, okay, so as designers, we have heard about AI and stuff like that. So because I don't want to think, because I don't have that much time, I also want ChatGPT. So I want to just ask ChatGPT to help us to formulate. We know what we are going to use as per design, but for this content, basically, I want ChatGPT to help us to actually help us formulate like a content, basically. And so we wish ChatGPT. I'll have just done that, but really, not too much time. And we're trying to like save time, basically. But if ChatGPT is taking too much time, let me just copy this as a picture and bring it to Framer so that we can have it as a reference. So ideally, as I said, the best thing is for you to have your design done in Figma, and then you get come and why is it not pasting? Oh, okay. It's not going to paste. Let me try to export it as a picture, and then I would bring it into Framer. So let me just export it and then bring it into Framer. Okay. Oh no, that's not Framer. Let me just bring it here. Yeah, okay, it's loading. Let's just wait. Bring it outside the Canva. Why is our image not showing? What's happening? Our image is not showing yet. Let me try to drag. Let me just copy the image and bring. Okay. Okay, it has shown. I was not patient. Sorry. This is why I wanted to just bring the image inside. So straight up from here, while ChatGPT is loading, I think that will just bring up text from our head. I wanted to use ChatGPT to help us. Okay, you can see it's ChatGPT. Let's actually use ChatGPT and say, help me generate using this as so. This is just by the way, using this image as a. Let me just paste the image here as a reference. Help me generate content for the hero section and navigation. Okay, sorry, I'm typing very fast. I'm making a mistake. And navigation for a, let's say, a brand called Design Dive. Design Dive doing an educational platform that empowers designers. I say keep the text. So this is just prompt engineering. You're just trying to tell ChatGPT what to do. Keep the text simple and concise and follow the reference in the image. So let's see what ChatGPT will tell us. So this is just trying to be smart, basically. So sometimes when you have jobs or you have projects, you can also oh wow. Okay, so look at what ChatGPT is saying. Let's just copy it. It says that so see the hero section and then the navigation and then tagline and then interactive. Let's just copy it and bring it into Framer. Okay, so back to Framer. So this is, as I said, in every design tool, there's what is called like your canvas and there's what is called a artboard. So you most likely look at your artboard as where you design, but a canvas is like a blank space where your artboards are actually inside. So same concept in Framer. This is just a desktop, which is like your frame where you're working. But there's actually a canvas where you can actually work. And even in Framer, it's even better because there's actually a place where you can actually, like a canvas where there are no frames. It's just, what's the word? It's just a place where you can actually work, basically. So let me just copy and paste this text here. And then just, I want the text to be outside this frame. Okay, it's actually outside the frame. So this is the desktop like frame. And then these are the text that we have. So I'll just put the text. So basically, we work very fast, and I hope that we can. Let me delete everything inside here because I started from the scratch. So let's just delete. And then, so the first thing, we'll select our desktop, and then we are going to add a stack to it. So the way to add stack, as I said, a stack is a frame that has auto layout applied to it, if you can still remember. So we'll add like a stack to it. And then basically we'll set our stack to our, let's fix, no, let's make it fixed. Okay. Okay, well, there's nothing inside for now, but that's why it's still fixed. But okay, let's just draw a frame first, and we'll add our auto layout to this frame. Let's add I've added a stack to it. So let's tell our parent frame to fit content basically, and then let's allow this one to fill Oh, I hope I'm not saying too many things that is confusing. Okay. I hope it's not too confusing though. But let's just start. You can always come back to the video, and then if you have more questions, I'm trying to just build fast because our time is fast spent. So the first thing is navigation. Once again, to help us, let's just take our picture of the assignment. So this is the assignment. Let me just copy this image again so we can see what I'm trying to do and see how we actually make sense with the design. So I'm copying it as a picture. Let me bring it to Framer. Sorry. Let me bring it to Framer and paste it by the side. So we understand what all those stacks that we are saying stacks, this one, that one, it will now make more sense. Let me just upload, let it load. Let's give it a bit of time. So we understand, like, if you are looking, I'll be working and I want you to just pay attention to the image. And so you can see what I'm trying to do. It will make sense, like all those boxes inside boxes. It will make more sense now. But let me just start. So the first one, we have a stack. Inside this stack, we are going to have a logo. So let's just put a text and write logo there. Logo. Let's make it like text size. Okay, 16 is okay. Let's make this stack. Let's make it let's make it fit content. So some of all these things too, sometimes it's actually, I'll not say it's try and error. Sometimes you make mistakes, but yeah, just be ready for all that. So this is the logo. The first one is the logo, which is like what is here. And then the next one is this navigation. So there are like 3 items here: projects, about us, and contacts. For that one too, we are going to create another frame inside here. So you see how all those things make sense now. Inside this frame, we are going to add another text. So let's say 01, and this is duplicate it again and say, call this one about. So the reason why you can move it about here, like you can move it about inside these things because it's the frame. Once I apply auto layout to it or I make it a stack, it's going to adjust automatically. Let's just call this one about. So about. For the styling, we can leave the styling alone first. 01. Okay, let's try to fix the styling first of all. This is Inter. Let's say Inter Italic. Let's say this one should be okay. Yeah, this is where you adjust like your styles for the text basically. So you can choose a font here, and then you can choose your font style basically. So let's just make okay. Let's make it light italic, and then so we are going to add a stack to it, and then you see what happens. It also has a shortcut. I think it's Alt, Command, and Enter. Okay, let me check again. For this one, Alt, Command, and Enter. Yeah, that's the shortcut to doing this layout. So let me undo. You can see that this thing that has plus now. If I say Alt, or you say Alt is like Option, Command, or Control, and Enter, it's actually turned it to a stack. But for this stack now, we are just going to make it fit the content, like just this content that is there, and then we'll make this one too to fit the content. And then here too, on this stack now, we can delete this frame actually. So it's actually a stack now. So we can add like paddings to it. I'm just saying too many languages, but I hope you understand. And then this image, I wish I could, let me just scale it down a little bit so you can actually see. What I'm doing is actually this picture that is here, and I hope that it makes sense after a while, but let's just continue. It will make sense very soon. So this one, let's duplicate it to 1, 2, 3. So let's say number 1 is about, number 2 is, let's say, let me see what they have here. Okay, projects, about, and contacts. Let me just use what ChatGPT say, explore, about, and resources. So let's just call our own explore. Okay, explore, about, resources. It's going to make sense very soon. Let's just continue. I really hope. So you will notice that all these 3 now, they are separate elements. And if you begin to do our distribute, it will begin to handle them like differently. It will handle them differently. I mentioned that there is start, end, and center, which is like for the children. And then there's space around, space between, and whatever it is. But for now, we're not going to do that. Let's just undo and put it back. Again, we're going to put all this inside its own frame. So inside its own stack or its own auto layout, basically. So we'll put all this Alt, Command, and Enter. That's a shortcut. And then let's just make it to be fit content, which also should be fit content. That way, all this navigation, let's call it navigation. Navigation. So you can see everything is here. And now, if we now make this logo, let's make it bigger. Let's make it like 32. 32. Okay, let's make it 24. And let's make it very bold. Let's call it DDD. DDD. Okay, I will change the font self. Let's make the font to be, let me see what font is. Let's use instruments. I want a font that is different, basically. Let me see. Which one? Okay, it's taking a while to load. Okay, while the fonts are loading, but basically, let's make it, okay, this padding is too much. Let's make it 24. Okay, we can actually do 16. Let's do like 16. Sorry, all these things are, I'm doing it right on the course, so that's why I'm not really, it's looking as if I'm not decisive because yeah, everything is happening like live. So the next thing we want to do is we'll now use this our distribute to space. Let's use some of all these things too. They are trial and error. Like I may make mistake because obviously everyone is learning, and plus sometimes you actually make mistake. You learn by making mistakes. So you see if it actually works and achieves your results. If it doesn't, then you try. Okay, this is not. How am I seeing Match here? Match, are you on this far? I hope Match is not here. Somebody's playing around here, but if you're the one, please don't play around. Okay, let's do space around. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to see. Space around. It's not space around. Let me just be sure that this is what I'm looking for. What's wrong with our padding? Do you have a central padding? Let me see. No, stack. No. Space between. Oh, yes, this is what we're looking for. So it's similar to, how am I seeing Matthew on this file? Matthew, please, if you're on this file, you're disturbing also. So yeah, we have just achieved the first one. We have added like the padding. So let's make it more. 16 is too small. Let's give it, let's say like 32 from right and left. 32, okay, that's right. Let's say 32 left. Okay, that works. 32 left. Let me see, what again can we do? Okay, and that thing we can also do is for this one that is here, this navigation, let's call it the right navigation. Our navigation, let's call this one logo actually. We can replace it with an image, but let's just leave it like that. And then for this one, we can also, if we want to achieve what is here, we can see that there's some stroke here. So let's take out this stroke that is here. Let's add a border to it. So let's select this entire stack and add a border to it. Where is our border? Let's just add there's border at the bottom actually. So top is 0, bottom is 1. Okay, so top is 0, 0, 0, 1. Let's just call this one black. So we'll just work on black and white actually. No, it's actually not black, it's some whites. Let's do like let's do 60% white. Let's change this color, this background. Let's give it black. Let's just call it 1 should be black here. Okay, that's let's just do black. So obviously our text here is going to change. So we have to adjust our colors here basically. Let's see our font color. Let's change it to white. Yeah, and also we can increase the spacing in this one. So let's just make the gap. Let's increase it to, let's say maybe like 60. Let's say 32. Let's say like 64. 64. No, I made a mistake. 64. And then let's make the padding from the left and right. It can be way better. So let's make it to, let's do from the right, let's do like 64. Okay, let's do like 64 here too. 64. And also another thing we can also do is for this navigation here, we can make it to be field container. So I'm just trying to, I'm sorry that I may not be explaining too many things, but let's just make it to, I hope that we understand it to an extent. Obviously, we can always come back and then we can check what is happening here. View, okay. Let's make it to fit content. So we are done with the navigation, which is like the first one. For this desktop. So yeah, it can now be fit content. So this is our first section, which is like our, let's call this navigation. Navigation. So then let's duplicate it and do the next section. Okay, let's remove the gap. So this is now our hero section. So for our hero section, we can first increase the top and bottom padding. We can make it like 100. Or let me say like let's say like 500. 500 for top, 500 for bottom. Oh, sorry, that was left. That would be 500 for bottom, sorry. 500 for bottom. And we can leave the right and the left padding so that it aligns with our logo. Well, I didn't change the color of the logo. Let's make this one red, basically. Red will stand out. Okay, why is it not showing red? Oh, sorry. Let's make it red. So once again, I'm just trying to move fast. Why is there some things here? I'm just trying to move fast. Okay, so the next thing is our hero text, basically. So for our hero text now on this particular section, let's call it our hero section. What do we need? We need some text. So what is the text? Let's just go back to ChatGPT. It says that I empower designers to blah, 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 blah. Let's just copy this and copy this text. And let's take our navigation that is here and just paste the text here. Let's increase the text size to let's say 100. Okay, 100 is quite much. Let's just make it white. Okay, let's make it white. Let's reduce the opacity a little bit. So for the spacing now, for the width, I mentioned fixed width. So let's give it a fixed width of, let's say, so this width that is here, let's make it to be fixed. Let's say it should be let's say it's 500. 500 is too small. Let's increase it. Let's allow it to be 2 lines. Yeah, 500. So let's use the padding from the bottom. Let's make it 64. Okay, we can also add another element here actually. Let's add a line. Okay, so for us to add a line, let's just draw a frame basically. Draw another frame, this hero section. Okay, how do we do it? If we want to add a line, so let's delete this one first of all. So this hero section, what else can we add here? Let me see. Actually, this is it. Let me see. Is there any other thing we are missing? Okay, interactive tagline, empowerment, and impact. Okay, let's add a tagline here. Let's duplicate this. Once again, I duplicated this, but I'm just going to change the direction. So I'll change the direction and then make it to be down like this and align to the left. What I'll just do is let me copy this text, empowerment and impact. I'm just trying to move very fast. I'm sorry I'm not explaining too many things. Hopefully you can come back and come and watch it. Empowerment and impact, Control Shift V. Okay. Let's make this one. Let's change the font of this one to be let's see. Let's make it to be Inter. Because we're using Inter here. Inter. Let's make it to be 16. Let's make it to be all caps. Let me see. Can we do all caps here? What text style do we have? Okay, regular. Let me see. Text styles. Where did we change it to? All caps, all caps, all caps, all caps. Yeah. Okay, there's no text style. Content, fonts, width. Let me see. I'm trying to. I want to make it all caps, but okay, let me just type all caps actually. Sorry, I'm trying to do many things at the same time. I hope that we. Okay, I want to make the text to be all caps basically. Let me just make it all caps for me. I wanted to turn on all caps. So another thing that we can see here on this hero section is that all of what is are separated. So most likely you won't put them inside the frame because it will make sense if it's inside the frame. I don't know why there's this yellow dot. Please just ignore that. And if anybody's playing around, please stop playing around. Our time is, I'm running out of time, but let me just try and finish up. I've added a frame here. Once again, I'll put it at the side. I will move this logo, which is this text here. I'll make it to be all content. Let me see, fixed, fit content. Okay, yeah. Should be the height is fit content. The width should be fit content too. Yeah. So this one we can give it. I don't want to be designing on this color, but let's just change the color to 80% of white because it's not the dominant color basically. No, it should be 80%. 80%. Okay, what else again are we missing? What else? What's different here? Okay. What else again? Then this background image, this word is very off. Let's just make this one white instead. It doesn't really make sense. White. And then let's say we want to add a button. So again, Framer also allows us to have some things basically. You can add pre-custom elements. Let's see. Is this a button? Let me see. You can search for some things and add basically to, or you can create it by yourself. So this is Framer's button. They will download here. Let's just say get started. Get started. Sorry. Get started. Again, or let's just detach it and make the button to be, let me detach. Is that okay? Too many things. This is a component, and I'm trying to, okay, let me, for some reasons, okay, let me just delete it. Let's just make a button ourselves. So for you to make a button, there are different ways, but I'll just use one. I'll draw a frame and put a text inside and say get started. Get started. And I'll just add auto layout to this one. Add this layout. I'll give it padding. I'll make it like 16 all round. I'll give it like a rounded corner. Let's make it some shadow, some border. Let's make it like let's say like 4. Oh, sorry, that was border. It's radius I wanted to see. Let's make it like 8. Let's change the color from black to like, let's say white is too okay. Let's make it white, but maybe like oh, but okay, let's try blue actually. Let's see blue. Okay, I don't want us to use blue. Let me see. Okay. So this colors I know is funny, but let's just so you can see what I'm trying to say. So once again, in this hero section, we can now put these two because we want to now space this one. We put this one here and then put inside its own frame again. So once again, we can see like all those frame. You can see how it's playing out here. And then I can space the button. You can see that it's increasing. Let's make it like 40. Let's just, let me see. And then we can just make this container to be, fit the content, basically. So let's just stop here. So basically, we have like a basic hero section. Obviously, the reason why it's like this, okay, this alignment, you can see that it's actually at the end, like it's here for this hero section. Because we can make it to be on the top too. Like that's why you can, let me see. For our stack, hero section. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's just one element. I think that's why. Okay, hero section. Okay. We have already adjusted it. Basically, we just moved all this like at the bottom. You can see here. We have 500 pixels from on top. That's why everything is pushed down, and that's why it's starting from here. But I think I'll just stop here because of time. This is just a simple hero section. I was trying to mirror what is here. Obviously, because of time, that's why I cannot do all of the remaining things that are here. But we can play it. So when you are done with a particular project, you can just click on publish. So when you click on publish, it will become like a live link that you can now share with people to go and check and then review. And when you hit on display here, we can see that it is playing, basically, you can see. And then this is what we actually designed. So this is actually taking okay, let's reduce. You can see our viewport is actually, I have to scroll down to see everything. So we can reduce that 500 pixels is maybe a little too much. So let's go back to Framer. And instead of 500, let's make it like, let's say like 300 instead. Yes, let's just leave it like this and see. Okay, so it's better. So we can see our logo, our explore about resources, and then the text. So I think we'll just stop here. So let me just stop here. Yeah, let me just stop here. So far, do we understand what I've just done? Let me first ask. Does it look like jargon? So do you understand what I've just done? Please, some feedback. I'd like to hear from us. Does it look like, please, Aisha, who's still on the call? Aisha, Matthew. Does it make sense? Or
It
does
doesn't look like that. It makes sense.
Okay, so
Why
if you,
would you say that?
okay, what do you say?
I would just ask that. So why will it look like jargon?
I know some people may not really, I don't know if, but if you do the flex box, you understand that most of the things I was doing, I was just putting boxes in that box, like that stack I was doing, or that hardening layout, or yeah, that I was doing auto layout, not just a frame, but a stack. That's how I was able to achieve all this. In fact, okay, let's don't complicate the matters. Let me ask again. Other people that are on the call, I don't know, does it make sense? Do we understand?
Yeah, it makes sense. At least we can still watch for any part we don't understand.
Okay, so yeah, please, if you joined in late, you can always come back to the video and then quickly refer back to it. So our time is actually over. So, but yeah, now to our assignment. So I want everybody to work on an hero section. So you are going to design the hero section. So if you joined earlier, or you can go back and come and look at the video again. We looked at hero sections. So I want us to do a simple hero section, which not just a hero section and navigation. So like what I've just done here, Obviously, all of these colors, I just had to cook them up here, so that's why it's looking very funny, maybe. But yeah, I try to mirror like the from last week where we stopped, so that it's not too complex. Just this simple like layout, basically. That's what I try to mirror. So yeah, our assignment would be come up with a simple hero section for anything. Let's just say a business, whatever it is. We are going to both design the hero section and then you do it on Framer, like you develop it on Framer, just the way I've done on this call. So that's the assignment for this week. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Let me just get questions. Does anybody have any questions? You don't understand anything? Well, if you don't understand and it's something I've mentioned earlier, then you have to go back to the video. But if something I've just said that you don't understand, please let me know. Does anybody have any questions?
In place of that, you use your text as a logo. If you were to add image in place of that text, how would you go about it?
Oh, so if I to add image is simple. So you can actually like import. So to add an image, you can just take maybe a frame. Let's just put another frame here. Let me draw. Oh, sorry. Let me draw a frame. Oh, okay, no. I'm drawing in the wrong place. Let me I want to draw a frame, but it's okay. So the reason why this frame is doing like this is because the logo, assuming is here. Let me just have inside his own frame. Then let's say change the Alt Command and Enter, and then put them at the beginning. Sorry, fit content. Yeah, so then I can now click on this image, and instead of this field that is here, I can now add an image. Then it says choose image. So I have to go to my system now and go and let me just find a random image that I hope I have an image. Let me just copy this one. It's a rubbish image, but then you can see it's uploading the image here. So this is how to add an image. This is actually a screenshot of this page. So then I can delete this logo if I want. So that's how to add like images. I hope it makes sense.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so I just drew like a frame and I added like, instead of the field to be like a color, in this field section, you can see you can actually use a gradient or you can use different kind of gradient and then you can use an image or you can just use a frame with a color. But under this field, you can make it an image. I hope that it makes sense. Jeremiah, does it make sense? Do you understand?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It's almost
All right,
like
so
Figma too.
it's yeah, similar. So do we understand the assignment? I hope we do.
Yes, we
Hi.
do.
Okay. Our time is almost
Hello.
over. Okay. We have less than a minute, so please be very fast. I'll
Oh,
answer later.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't know if a minute will be enough, but I joined in later. Just to recap the assignment, are we just making any hero page?
Anyone for your business, for anything, anyone that you,
Okay.
anything. So yeah,
Okay.
our time is over. If you have any more questions, you can ask on the group chat, and I would upload the video like later on. Please let's try to be joining on time so we can cover more ground. Like there's a lot that we could have done to improve this, but the meeting will end like now. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. Let's enjoy the rest of our week.